Welcome back to Yahtzee Tries, in which I, Yahtzee, attempt, or try, new games, and give my first impressions on the very small amount of game my crap-out arse can get through in a single hour. Starting this week with Buckshot Roulette. First of all, it has a very aesthetic.
So, yeah, shoot him.
Hey, nice.
Yeah.
He loses a life, because that's all that a shotgun shell does to your face.
Yeah. Dude, that guy's teeth. Do you reckon he's British?
The Big Book of British Smiles.
Buckshot Roulette is a small game summarised very aptly by the title. There's you and the dealer, there's a shotgun, and you take turns aiming and firing at your own faces in a manner straight from the How Not to Do It section of a gun owner's manual. But if the next one is a blank, then I get another turn, and then it would be 75% chance I'd shoot him.
You got a 33 and a third chance of winning!
Okay, I'll shoot myself. Wow, I'm not very good at this random guessing game. Yeah, that's going in the edit. The shotgun is randomly loaded with blanks and live shells, and the winner is whoever doesn't blow their head off first.
Yeah.
So, heads, I will shoot myself. And it is heads.
Ooh!
At first shake, it might sound like a fairly pointless exercise, but it's not completely random. It develops quite a lot of nuance as you go through it.
I think shooting yourself in the face with a shotgun, whether the barrel's sawn off or not, would do probably the same amount of damage.
Handcuffs.
Denmark with the $5 days. Thank you so much, Denmark. I tried this in real life once. Turns out I was really good at it.
Well,
Damn,
I guess you'd have to be. The combinations of blanks and live rounds become more and more complicated. The addition of random power-ups allow you to stack the odds in your favour, and it acquires a surprising depth of strategy as you learn to give yourself the best possible odds of survival before you pull the trigger. So it is completely random yards. Alright, yes, but that's never done Balatro any harm. I'm full of shotgun shells. Why don't you have this one? Yum yum, I love blanks. Okay, heads we shoot him, tails we use the magnifying glass first.
Alright, I like that.
That's not on. It's heads.
Eat slugs.
Hey!
Nice.
I'm also in love with the aesthetic. It very effectively creates a nightmarish vibe of being trapped in a dodgy Russian nightclub while tripping on the brown acid, and the audio and visuals are just crammed with neat little artistic details to help build that effect.
Anything to have a USP, like...
Oh, he shot himself! What a dolt! La 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 da 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 ba boom. Ow! You bastard!
Now it's my go. And you've got the wombo combo.
Cigarettes and alcohol, and shooting yourself in the face. It's like a Texan wedding. On the whole, it's a nice little concept game. There's not more than a couple of hours of entertainment in it, but one shouldn't expect anything that involves putting a shotgun to your head to be long-lived. And it definitely brings to mind that thing Jack's always saying, I don't know if games are art, but you can't deny they certainly contain art. Our next game was Crime Scene Cleaner Prologue, a free demo or vertical slice of what I assume will be a full game, which will hopefully have a better tutorial than just dumping us into a big mission with every available tool unlocked. But I figured out the basics, so I can't get too stroppy. Oh, I've got a doggy.
Good boy.
Pet the dog, yeah.
Man, and we like to huff paint fumes before we go to sleep, apparently. Aha. Broken bottles and shit. Oh, and a whole bunch of blood. It's another first-person cleaning sim like Viscera Cleanup Detail or Power Wash Simulator, but finds the midpoint between them by having the mopping and the having to replace your dirty water from the former, and the power washer from the latter, with a little bit of house flipper thrown into the mix when you have to rearrange the furniture too. Oh, I think I just bugged the game out a little bit there. Sorry, developers. I hate you, inflatable. Daddy, please clean up more crime scenes. I am so very sick. I still think video games are missing a trick by not having you do both the murdering and the crime scene cleaning, like in my Dev Diary game, The Cleaner, funnily enough, but this certainly captures what I want in my post-dad games, getting into the groove of repetitive tasks and rewarding the thorough systematic approach.
I know how to solve this.
I'll just mop the chair. Yes, now everything is clean and tidy. I'm sorry, it's my first day as a crime scene cleaner.
Imagine contacting a mob body cleanup guy to make it look like it never happened, and he just power washes your fucking walls.
The range of different mechanics give it an edge over its aforementioned peers, and the way the bodies spaz out when you chuck them in the van never stops being funny. Right in the trash.
There you go.
That worked. I feed more bodies to the car monster. Alright. No, not the chair, the body. Stupid game. However, I got a dog points for the story. I had a sinking feeling when it established that our crime scene cleaner protagonist is widowed with a chronically ill daughter, which is such a fucking hackneyed Sandman in Spider-Man 3 instant sympathy generator. It almost feels like an insult to my intelligence. Okay, I'm with whoever murdered all these people now. Okay, I was down on this game because I was thinking, stop joking about all these innocent deaths. People have died. And then I look at the lives these people lived. And I'm thinking, you know what? I'm coming around, which is perfectly fine. But wait, what's all these empty milk cartons? Now I suspect foul play. And whatever sympathy it might have created was lost, as my dude was throwing out smug, quippy dad jokes as he flung the remains of somebody else's innocent daughter into the spaz van. Okay, why did the murderer move one of the drum cymbals over here?
Wasn't enough.
Oh, piss off.
Oh man, he was waiting all day for me to do that. Oh, that feels better. Oh.
Stretch me back out, thanks, lad. Oh.
Can't
Where's
really
that
call
inconsiderate?
it a soft landing.
That wasn't even a pun. In brief, tone issues. I shouldn't have to explain to a professional biohazard handler that it might be a good idea to keep his mouth shut. Our next game is Ereban Shadow Legacy, and long-term viewers will agree that that's a classic example of a bollock sandwich. Now, that is a fucking thigh gap our character is sporting. You know what I kind of like is that when you step into the darkness, you're all like turned into a black shadow creature and you're all like badass and shit.
Yeah.
Then you step into the light and you just look like a huge dog. I gave Ereban a go specifically because I'm on record as being disappointed by a lack of games that actually focus on stealth rather than having it as an optional ingredient in a big undisciplined game mechanics smorgasbord. As a game based around literally hiding in shadows, sneaking up and giving enemies atomic wedgies, Ereban fits the bill nicely. She's talking about her vagina.
Oh, I gotcha.
I'm not a fighter.
Well, neither am I. I'm a stealther. Boy, it's helpful someone spray-painted purple onto this wall. We play as the last member of a magic shadow hiding people that an evil corporation wants to capture and exploit, but in contrast to how this usually plays out, the protagonist just shows up at the corporation's headquarters going, yeah, alright, sounds good, where do I sign? But then the corporation straps her to a table and tortures her anyway. Not sure why. Maybe they'd already paid for the torture table and wanted to justify filing it as a business expense. You never think you're the one who's going to be on the torture table, do you?
No.
Whee!
Oh, that's neat.
Thank you, I've mastered the wall jump now.
You have.
Let's move on. Alright, let's be fun. Banzai! Shit!
Oh, no! I need to grab your head!
I do like Ereban's core gimmick of turning into a little mildew stain on the wall and zipping around inside shadows. It's a little difficult to control at times with the angle changes, but it skillfully avoids the two biggest traps of stealth design, forcing us to creep up on dudes as slowly and boringly as possible, and not making it clear enough if we're visible or not. This is easy. Oh shit!
That's last words.
It's easy to talk shit when that was my third attempt. Hey, you're one of those healing robots I've heard so much about.
Oh no, we hate those robots. Those are the worst robots.
Priority target.
Oh
What?
shit.
Oh shit.
Oh!
It's pretty cut and dry here. Are you a puddle? Yes, then they can't see you. Carry on. You. You're next on my list. Now, can that guy see me while I'm up on this ledge? Do they have the power to look up? But it's also a little iffily put together, a little glitchy. The levels are kinda dull, and I'm not a fan of only stealthing up on robots.
What did I say? Shadow Bust?
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Whoa!
What happened?
Good question, Ayana. I'm the best at this game. Well done. Round of applause. Yeah.
Yay!
I don't know why some games insist on designing their characters with no personality. Masked and emotionally stunted protagonist aside, the highlight of stealth games like Thief, Metal Gear Solid and the Arkham trilogy was always feeling like you're outwitting a bunch of dumb toughs and chortling at their nervous dialogue as you creep up with wedging hands readied. That's completely lost with just robots. I don't get the same satisfaction from wedging an unsuspecting fridge. Our last game for this little session is Children of the Sun, another fairly immediately forgettable title, which is a shame because this game kinda kicks ass and more people should be talking about it.
Look at that P.
Yeah, I'm impressed. There's P.
For
Yeah,
you got 50 dick points.
I got points for dick. On the surface, it's a sniping game dressed up in very, very Devolver Digitally, scratchy, demented artistic theming, but it's only a sniping game in the sense that Neon White is a first-person shooter. That guy's having a spirited conversation with his imaginary wife. I hate it when things don't die. Be polite, be efficient, have a plan to
Yeah.
kill everyone you meet. When you get right down to it, it's closer in spirit to a puzzle game about figuring out the most efficient path through the level, except in this case the path that a magic direction-changing bullet takes through several squishy unsuspecting heads and testicles. You can run, but you'll only die tired. Yeah, enjoy this view of this elk crossing sign, for it shall be your last. When it starts getting complicated, it gets easier and easier to fail stupidly from slight errors in timing and alignment, but thankfully it does the Hotline Miami thing of letting you very rapidly restart and get back into the action. And the way it marks targets as you hit them for future attempts means you don't feel like you're not making, for want of a better word, headway.
Nope.
Bollocks,
How did that
bollocks,
happen?
bollocks, bollocks. Bird.
Wrong.
Missed. Yeah, pray. It won't help. Oh, that's where the title came from. Oh. The final result is like those slightly pervy slow-mo bullet time moments in a Sniper Elite game, but without all the tiresome build-up and any possibility of being spotted and killed by enemy Nazis, but without losing any sense of decent challenge. Ugh.
Oh,
hey guys,
God.
number
Try
one just told everyone to keep their eyes peeled in the outside. Okay, I'm gonna go back now.
Oh, runabout.
Shit!
Oh, no.
That was going so well. This is exactly the kind of thing I love to see in indie games, taking an established game concept and refining it and reframing it to create something new and compelling. It did feel like the gameplay wasn't evolving much, but by all accounts it's pretty short.
What's happening to this car? Where's it going?
I don't know. It's flying. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I love heads, I love heads. What a nice day for a leisurely stroll
Yeah, exactly.
through the air. In brief, check it out. I just wish they hadn't called it Children of the Sun. That's a title your eyes just bounce straight off, isn't it? You assume it's just some generic RPG or something that you haven't got the mental energy for. It needed something much more eye-catching, like Ultrasonic Dick Sniper from Mars. Sniper Mice from Mars. Well, I don't know, it's not my job. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Heads, 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 heads. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Kill, 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 kill. I like heads, I like heads. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Kill, 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 kill. I love shooting things, I love shooting things.
Banana Man.
Shit.
What? Nonsense. This looks like anime.
This video is sponsored by Ground Branch, the uncompromising thinking man's FPS from one of the developers behind the original Rainbow Six and Ghost Recon games. Live out your tactical fantasy through 8-player co-op multiplayer, complete with proximity chat and in-depth character and weapon customization. Don't have 7 friends to play with? Well, head on down to your local grocery store and start asking strangers in the produce aisle. Also, while you're there, please check to see if the heirloom tomatoes are still on sale. Those juicy little guys are so delicious. Ground Branch is here to put the tactical back into tactical shooter, and the big version 1034 update makes the experience even better thanks to map improvements, additional playable characters, and the new prone stance. So what are you waiting for? Start shouting things like breach, suppressing fire, and I've got your 6 to all your new produce aisle pals today in Ground Branch. Available now on Steam in early access.
Aha. Ahaha, double aha. I wouldn't be unfaithful anyway. I mean, I have enough trouble keeping one woman satisfied. Yep, ultimately it all comes down to random chance in the end.
Another fat guy cooks. I almost said another fat guy's cock. I love a good dipshit. Listen, I just laid down on the torture table. I didn't realize it would start torturing me. How come no one's talking about Clay Fighter 63 1/3? You know what? We make up for it in our personalities.
Our beautiful, shining personalities.
Jumate Date. That's a dating app where you just you go on a date with Jumate.
It's literally just
or Ludo. Literally just Jumate. Remember the porn bots over in YouTube? What happened to them?
A little bit of Splinter Cell in my life, a little bit of Metal Gear in my life, a little bit of Arkham in my life. Mambo number stealth.
Another way in.
This looks like anime.